Hi, welcome students to my seventh lecture on variational calculus. Today we will discuss several independent variables and several independent and dependent variables on variational calculus. As we were discussing the various applications of Euler's theorem, where the functional f depends on one dependent variable and one independent variable, and also we have discussed for several dependent variables. Today in this lecture we are going to discuss the case of several independent variables, that is, the functional f depends on several independent variables, has several independent variables. Coming to the first slide. Sometimes it may come that the functional that comes in the expression for the j, which is to be extremum, has more than one independent variables. In the last cases we have studied only one independent variable, x. Suppose instead of x there are three independent variables. So in this case, since x, y and z are independent variables, some other letter, let us say u, is used to represent the function of these three independent variables. Therefore the functional f is f of u, ux, uy, uz, x, y, z. Now as we know, ux refers to dou ux by dou u by dou x. Similarly, uy refers to dou u by dou y, first derivative, partial derivative of u with respect to y and z, and goes on. Since there are three independent variables, we have to write three times three derivatives separately. So the integral for the quantity to be extremum is j is equal to triple integral f of u, ux, uy, uz, x, y, z, dx, dy, dz. The variational problem to find the function for which j is extremum, or the condition for the extremum case or minimum or maxima case for the quantity by variational technique is delta j equal to 0. That is, delta j is nothing but delta alpha into dou j by dou alpha at alpha equal to 0. Coming to the next slide, we have expressed y of x alpha in terms of y of x 0 plus alpha into eta, where alpha is a coefficient or a scaling factor and eta is a function which is depending on the difference in y, delta y. Similarly, here u of x, y, z, the function which is coming in the functional f, and that depends on alpha, can be expressed as the initial value of u plus the extra increment which is alpha into eta. So here alpha is a scaling factor, but eta is a function of three independent variables. So alpha into eta of x, y, z. Therefore u of x, y, z alpha equal to u of x, y, z 0 plus alpha into eta into x, y, z. As you already know u of x, y, z 0 will be the value of u, or the value of the function at alpha equal to 0, and eta is an arbitrary deviation, and alpha is a scaling factor. And similarly we can write the expression for ux, which is the first derivative of u with respect to x. Is ux is also a function of x, y, z and alpha, which can also be written as ux of x, y, z 0 plus alpha eta x, where eta x is nothing but dou eta by dou x, the first derivative of eta x, eta. Coming to the next slide. Now coming to the differentiation of j. We are now going to differentiate j, as we have written the expression for j in terms of u, ux and x, and therefore we can differentiate j with respect to alpha in the terms of f. Since j is a function of f of u, ux, uy, uz and x, y, z, we can write dou j by dou alpha. It can be found by dou f by dou u, because f is a function of u, that into eta, because as we know we are differentiating with respect to alpha, therefore we are first of all we differentiate f with respect to u, and then we differentiate f with respect to u, and then eta. Eta will come as because of the second term, the partial derivative dou with the second term is with respect to alpha, and plus dou f by dou ux, because f is also a function of ux, so we have to differentiate f with respect to ux and then ux with respect to alpha. So that means dou eta x is nothing but dou dou ux by dou alpha. Similarly, the third term will be dou f by dou uy into eta y, that is dou eta by dou y. Similarly, we get the next terms, that into dx dy dz. And now as we use the integration by parts for the terms, and we proceed the similar way in the last section, while we used to derive the Euler equation, we will get the same way dou f by dou u, where we got in the previous case in the first section we got, while we derived Euler equation, we got dou f by dou y minus d by dx of dou f by dou dou by dou yx. Instead of here we are getting dou f by dou u. That means here instead of dou f by dou y, I am getting dou f by dou u, minus that case we got dou by dou x or d by dx of dou f by dou yx. Here we are getting dou by dou x of dou f by dou ux. Since there are three independent variables, we'll get three terms minus, so we'll get the next term will be dou by dou x, dou by dou y of dou f by dou uy, minus dou by dou z of dou f by dou uz, that into eta of x, y, z into dx, dy, dz, that equal to 0. As we know, the terms outside the bracket cannot be 0, because eta is an arbitrary term, dx, dy, dz cannot be 0, they are finite. The only option is if the right hand side is 0, the left hand side has to be 0, the left hand side, the term in the bracket is equal to 0, and the term in the bracket becomes the Euler equation for several independent variables. Coming to the next slide. So thus the Euler equation for the several independent variables can be written as dou f by dou y minus dou by dou x, dou f by dou ux, minus dou by dou y, dou f by dou uy, minus dou by dou z, dou f by dou uz equal to 0. I have a correction here. The first term has to be dou f by dou u. It's not dou f by dou y. There is a mistake in this slide. Please correct it as dou f by dou u minus dou by dou x, dou f by dou ux. Like that it goes on. As an application of this Euler equation of several independent variables, we are going to apply to derive the Laplace equation. In electrostatics, the energy of an electrostatic field is given by half epsilon E square. The energy density is half epsilon del E is equal to delta phi, where phi is the potential. So the boundary condition is that the energy density, the electrostatic energy in a given volume is minimum. So coming to the next slide, we are using the expression for energy density, that is delta phi the whole square, that is going to be minimized. That is what we have J. So the J is minimum, that is here it is a three-dimensional term because it is bounded in a volume. So I take the triple integral. J is nothing but delta phi, we are neglecting the other constants, delta phi square into dx dy dz, that is nothing but, we can express delta phi is nothing but in a three-dimensional term. So we can write in the delta phi is nothing but a grad phi, it is a vector. So we can know the magnitude of a vector is root of x square plus ax square plus ay square plus az square. The root and the square cancels out, so that will become f phi x square plus phi y square plus phi z square dx dy dz. Therefore, comparing the expression for J with the general expression where J is equal to integral f of u, ux, uy, uz, x, y, z, like that, we get the value of f as phi x square plus phi y square plus phi z square. And now using the value of f, we put it in the Euler equation for several independent variables. We get dou f by dou u minus d by dou x of dou f by dou ux. Like that, if you put it in that equation, we will get minus 2 phi of xx plus phi of yy plus phi of zz, which is nothing but the which is nothing but the derivative of phi x with respect to x is what, phi xx. So that again becomes delta square phi of xyz equal to 0. That is nothing but the Laplace equation in electrostatics. Therefore, the stationary value is indeed a minimum, and therefore the field energy be minimum leads to the Laplace differential equation. Thus we have derived the Laplace equation starting from the variational concepts. The other case, the third